Thank you, Minister. Just before I give a few remarks, we have a video that we'd like to play for you first.
Help in our campaign against COVID-19 with the Fijian government's Care Fiji app. Care Fiji app is designed to help the Ministry of Health and Medical Services notify you at the earliest if you have come in close contact with a person who has tested positive for COVID-19. How does it work? Simply download the Care Fiji app and switch on your device Bluetooth. Bluetooth signals will determine when your phone is in close proximity to another device which has the Care Fiji app. If any Care Fiji user gets infected with COVID-19, he or she will be asked to upload their information, all while maintaining their absolute security and privacy. Visit the Care Fiji website on www.carefiji.digitalfiji.gov.fj for more information. Download the Care Fiji app today and help Fiji's campaign against COVID-19.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Bulavinaka. I'd like to just give a few points just with regard to the Care Fiji app. In addition to what the Honorable Prime Minister had said in the launch, that was on Sunday, also in addition to what the Minister had said in his address. Now, as the Minister had said, the Care Fiji app uses the same technology, which is called Blue Trace protocol, which has been used by Singapore and Australia. The Care Fiji app under the Digital Fiji initiative uses Bluetooth low energy technology to be able to assist the Ministry of Health and Medical Services to contact the Care Fiji user at the earliest if they have come in close contact with a Care Fiji user who has recently been diagnosed with COVID-19. Some of the questions that we have been receiving, and this you would find the detailed answers in the frequently asked questions on the website, which is also on the screen behind us, would be, how much phone battery does the app use? How much mobile data does it take to download the app and use the app? So this is all in the FAQs, but very briefly, with regards to the battery usage, because it uses Bluetooth low energy technology, it uses a very minimal battery. So for instance, you can do this by just, once you've downloaded the app, just do a long hard press on the app, you'd have, and click on the app info, it should show you the battery usage. I checked mine last night and it was 0% of my battery that was used. With regards to the mobile data that's required, as the Honorable Prime Minister had mentioned in his address, Vodafone and Digicel, it basically uses up to 10 megabytes of data to download it from Google Play Store and Apple App Store. So once you have downloaded, Digicel and Vodafone would then reimburse 100 megabytes of mobile data to the user. So you should have gotten yours, once you have already downloaded and installed it. With regards to the privacy safeguards, the design or the approach that was taken in developing the Care Fiji app was a privacy by design. So before a code was written, we had gotten the source code from Singapore, a lot of the privacy safeguards were placed in. What I mean by this is that the actual identity of the Care Fiji user is not revealed, that is protected. The only thing that is, the only personal information that is captured or that is required by the Care Fiji app is your mobile number. If you were to look around globally, there's a lot of different contact tracing apps that have been developed by various countries. Fiji is one of the few that only uses Bluetooth technology, which is a non-tracking technology. You have other countries that use GPS, you have others that use GPS and Bluetooth, and then you have sort of the more extreme countries. So just with regards to privacy safeguards, it does not track your location. So using the example that the minister had said earlier, if we are all here, I get tested, I get sick next week. I then give consent to giving the Care Fiji information. The KFEG information, and I'd like to clarify what I'm referring to is it is just the mobile number, the time stamp, the date, and the duration of close proximity. That is the only information that is then sent across to the Ministry of Health and Medical Services contact tracing team so that they could do the sole purpose of contact tracing. So using that example, I go and get tested, I now send my information across. The contact tracing team will not know on this particular day at this time that Tupo was here in Nandi, or if I was in Suva. The only thing that they would know is these are the numbers that were in close proximity to me at this point in time. The other thing is, and you would see when you were registering for the app, one of the other things that we had intentionally put in is you would see the amount of information. Each screen provides you with the information that you need in order for you to make an informed consent to be able to know what the app is about and what it does. We also have a privacy policy that is there, and you'll be able to also view this on the website. With regards to the information that I was referring to, all of these is stored securely on your phone in an encrypted and anonymized version. So my actual number will not be sent across. And when I mean sent across using the Bluetooth energy, it sort of is just digital handshakes that's happening, depending on how close my app is next to your app for the period of time. So it is in an encrypted and anonymized version. Once you consent to sending it across to the Ministry of Health and Medical Services, they will then be able to get that list of numbers that were in close proximity to you over a 28-day period from when you uploaded, and then they'll be able to contact them to give them health advice. The last thing that we would like to say is that they would like to stress that the Ministry of Health and Medical Services will only have that information, which is the mobile number, the timestamp, the date, and the duration of close proximity once you consent to it. So if you do not send it, they will not have access to that. With regards to steps that have been taken for those that are tourists that are coming in, as the Honorable Prime Minister had mentioned, it will be mandatory. They would need to have it downloaded. So for those that do come in that have it, we have, in partnership with Vodafone and Digicel, they would have those booths within the airport just before they come out of customs to be able to help them download it. Also, they will have phones there that are available for those who do not have phones when they come in, and they'll be selling it for as low as $100. The other thing in the website we'd like to refer you to in the website is the resources kit. Now, the resources kit has the KFEG logo, the banners, which you can download, and also print that out and post it on your premises. We do have. So we also have an infographic poster that, okay, it's also on the screen. So the infographic poster, you can also find this in the resources kit, so you'll be able to print this out and place it, which is sort of a guideline on how to download the KFEG app. The last thing that I'd also like to stress is that studies have shown, and we've actually seen one by the University of Oxford together with Newfield Department of Medicine and the Big Data Institute, whereby they have done research regarding digital contact tracing. So they have mentioned that 1 infection is averted by every 1 to 2 users, which is why it is critical that higher the uptake, the higher the protective rate for all of us. Because the KFEG app, which is digital contact tracing, is a community-driven contact tracing. With those few words, Minister, if there's any other questions, we'd be happy to answer that. Thank you. Oh, yes. With regards to the number of downloads to date, we have had 27,000. Naka.